So today I'm going to try and put a spin on this classic masterpiece and continue ConspiracyCraft. This week, are we living in a simulation? So to pixelate this image we could just use a computer, but I wanted to try and do this by hand. After printing off the screen, I grab a ruler, pencil and rubber, or eraser for 39% of my viewers. I first draw the lines at 1cm intervals, but decide that that's too big, so I go for half centimetre gaps. I only want to pixelate the main subject, so I only draw the lines over the figure. Fun fact, the figure in the painting is not screaming, but is actually hearing the infamous scream, and trying to block the sound out by covering their ears with their hands. Once I've completed the lines on one side, I turn the print 90 degrees and start making the cross lines which will create the square pixels. Looking back, my lines were not straight, so I should have found a longer ruler. I tried making 3 marks at each interval and joining them together to try and make sure it was straight, but the marks were too close to each other and my squares were not square. Once the not so squares were done, I grabbed my acrylic paints and just started mixing up different shades and tones, trying to fill each square with the colour that I thought the square would blend into, meaning if it was half blue and half grey, I'd fill it with a blue-grey. I also made sure that no adjacent square had the same shade, and mixing the way I did meant that I rarely had the exact same shade twice unless it was straight from the tube. So whilst I colour in all these tiny squares, let's talk about conspiracy theories, in particular whether we're living in a simulation. The main theory is that a super advanced species has created a computer simulation and we're basically just Sims. The simulation is so complex that we feel like everything is real, but what if it's not? Swedish philosopher Nick Bostrom's simulation argument states that if a civilization this advanced ever existed, it could make so many simulations that us being in a simulation is almost a certainty. But of course this is impossible to prove. There is some fun evidence that our world is a simulation, such as buses. How can a car just wide enough for 2 people almost fill an entire lane, whilst buses that often sit 4 people in a row with an aisle between fit in basically the same width? Is this a sign that our world just doesn't follow any physical rules? There are also a bunch of glitch in the Matrix videos online, some showing seemingly identical models of people, sometimes even moving and behaving identically. Others show people finding items like personal jewellery just to realise that they're already wearing them and now it's seemingly duplicated. So what do you think? Is the slight extra width of a bus enough to allow twice as many people per row? Do people just dress and act the same due to fashion and friend circles? And maybe these duplicated items were replaced and then just found? Or maybe all these glitches in the Matrix are staged or just made up? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and now back to the painting. I think this craft is pretty fun and I'm tempted to try it again, mainly because I feel like the pixelation wasn't as neat as I'd like and the subject just kinda gets lost. If I did it again, I'd use something with a bigger subject, maybe the Mona Lisa, because I feel like it would still be recognisable even once it's pixelated. I tried to fix this issue with a pen and stay tuned for the results of that, but thank you for watching and please consider becoming a member of my exclusive subscriber club. Only 1.4% of viewers are subscribed and every subscriber means so much to me. So I grabbed a pen and first did an outline of the subject, which in all honesty I think made it look worse. When I tried outlining some of the pixels for hands and adding dots for the eyes, again I think it made it look worse and maybe even ended up looking a bit silly, but it was worth a try. Let me know in the comments below what I should try next and if you're going to give this craft a go. Stay tuned and I hope to see you next time.